One day, I was browsing Sight and Sound's greatest films of all time poll, and I questioned, how come Singing in the Rain is in the top 10? But before getting carried away, I looked into the critique system and how it might impact the musical film genre in general. According to Jason Wood, the poll's objective has shifted, satisfying to see a list that feels quite radical in its sense of diversity and inclusion. This is evident through the increased number of female directors, greater representation of ethnic minorities, and LGBT portrayals. Out of the 250 films, there are 6 musicals, including Singing in the Rain as 10th place, followed by The Red Shoes and The Wizard of Oz further down in the list. Singing in the Rain gained 53 votes and climbed up from 20th place in 2012 to 10th in 2022. Why such a drastic change, especially if the top 30 films were already those produced before 2012? Rather than what hasn't changed, we need to look at what has changed, current audiences and societal perceptions. However, Singing in the Rain doesn't have a female director or a diverse cast, yet it still rose in the ranks. Could this be to include a musical in the top 10, or a film showcasing the film industry, an unfair advantage over the others? Some might think so, especially those not fond of musicals, or might argue that other musicals deserve a higher ranking. Even some successful musicals were not included on the list at all. My first time looking at the 2022 list, I was surprised to see that Wizard of Oz was all the way down in 108th position. It is my favorite movie musical since I grew up watching it and has that nostalgic quality. I also found its themes and story very meaningful, interesting characters, and memorable music. So I would have expected it to be higher than Singing in the Rain, which is a film I haven't heard that much about before, other than the scene where he sings in the rain. So I went on Reddit to see if anyone else had the same opinion. So I came across this post, which I initially agreed with, as it mentions the film's escapist quality, its relatability for all ages, and the nostalgic appeal even for Gen Z audiences. But after rewatching Singing in the Rain and reading more about it, I started to understand why it holds its place industry context in the film. It became a highly regarded film as it pays tribute to the film industry and how cast and crew adapted to the advancement of silent film to talkies in 1927, which revolutionized filmmaking. The golden age of musical films is considered to be from the 1930s to early 1950s, as the genre reached its peak in popularity. The first film released using sound was a musical movie as well, called The Jazz Singer, which is intertextually referenced in Singing in the Rain. Social and cultural factors. In the aftermath of the war and the Great Depression, movie musicals provided a welcome escape and a sense of hope for audiences. Diving deeper into Singing in the Rain. Intertextuality and influence. I sense aspects of La La Land in the final musical number. Similar color palette and general theme. Postmodernism is also seen, as this is a musical film about creating a musical film, and most importantly, the film's theme of pure happiness and optimism, something rarely seen in current-day cinema, as darker themes are addressed. Although they wanted the poll to portray current society, this musical is used as a break from the heavier topics and reminds us to enjoy life. People in current society want, or even need, more escapism, which is proven through the rise of short-form video content. The only scene evoking negative emotion takes only around 5 minutes, which is Lena Lamont threatening to sue the production company and exploit Kathy Selden's voice for her public image. However, this hiccup is quickly resolved when the good guys get their revenge and reveal that Kathy was the voice behind her all along. In the future, as Gen Z and other generations take over the critic's role, I believe the ranking of musicals will drop in the greatest films of all time poll. It is clear that there are just not as many appreciated musicals in our time compared to the 1930s to the early 1950s, which the poll projects clearly, as there are no musicals on it from after this period. A musical being the first film to be released with sound is significant, as it highlights what a big impact sound has on the industry and audiences, and perhaps musicals were their way of celebrating and making most of it. So a reason why musicals might be declining in popularity is that now we take sound for granted. Additionally, some individuals might not view musicals as true cinema or find it too niche. The use of musicals as a parody has also changed the way some audiences view them, such as the viral lip-sync battle with Tom Holland, which starts with Tom Holland reenacting the scene where they sing the song Singing in the Rain, and then this is remixed into Umbrella by Rihanna. What makes Singing in the Rain feel so timeless is its pure joy, its wholesome charm, and its love for the film industry, all of which help justify its rise to 10th place.